On today's Domain Sherpa review, we look at Shane Cultra's portfolio, including the good, the bad, and the recent. We also use the Domain IQ tool to dig a little deeper on Domain Shane's portfolio with a few surprises. Then we discuss names going to auction soon at NameJet, including a numeric worth at least 10K according to one of the Sherpas, and some great brands. Then we answer some interesting user-submitted questions about outbound sales letters, about salutations, what online tools the Sherpas use, and much more. Great show. Stay tuned. I have 3 sponsor messages before we get into today's show. First, if you have a great domain name and nothing to show when people visit, you're missing out on potential advertising revenue, leads, and partnership opportunities. NicheWebsites.com can build you a site quickly with a price option to suit any need. But as their tagline says, they don't just build websites, they build businesses. NicheWebsites.com. Second, if you're buying or selling a domain name or portfolio and you want an estimate of its value, Estabot.com is the place to go. Just like you'd visit Zillow.com to get an estimate of a house value, Estabot.com provides key information about the most important statistics so you can make an informed decision based on data. Finally, whether you're buying, selling, brokering, or financing a domain name, you need an escrow company that's properly licensed, bonded, insured, and audited. That company is Escrow.com, and they've been doing it since 1999. Escrow.com. It's about trust. Hey everyone, I'm Michael Cyger, publisher of DomainSherpa.com, and this is the Domain Sherpa Review. This is the show where we get into the minds of successful domain name investors and review real domain names, purchases, and sales so we can learn strategies and tactics. We have 3 sections of the review: an investor-submitted domain name portfolio to discuss and value, a marketplace list from NameJet.com, and we're going to wrap it up with a few questions from our audience. We've got some great ones that I've been collecting over the past few weeks. Joining us today on the Domain Sherpa Review are 3 past Sherpas and thought leaders. In order from left to right, we have Adam Dicker, CEO of DNForum.com and NicheWebsites.com, the company that will help you build, rank, and update your business website or that project you've been looking to build for a while. Andrew Rosener, CEO of the domain name brokerage firm MediaOptions.com. And Shane Cultra, publisher of the blog DomainShane.com and owner of the Country Arbors Nursery in Illinois. Sherpas, welcome to today's show.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Right. Hey, so before we get into it, guys, I need to ask, maybe I should turn off the recording. Do I look shiny?
Shiny?
That was for Shane.
I probably look shiny. I'm sweating.
You thought you looked shiny?
That's what you get when you drink and write.
Yeah. I like drunk Shane writing blogs. There should be more drunk Shane writing. If I lived around you, I'd just get you drunk and then turn you loose on your blog, Shane. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, go to DomainShane.com and read his blog that he published after the NamesCon conference. And what was it, a republishing or something, Shane? I don't remember seeing it the first time.
I wrote it, and then when I went down to and posted it, when I went down to the floor, I realized maybe I had written some things that were funny to some and not funny to others. So I just immediately took it down and reread it. Because, I don't drink very often, so I thought it was pretty funny when I wrote it, but when I woke up, it wasn't quite as funny. But it wasn't too bad.
So I actually browsed it on my phone. I'm like, wait a second, I can't tell if this is real or not. And then I actually sat in front of my computer and read it, and I laughed out loud. I thought it was pretty funny. Yeah. So go read that. All right, so this is the third of 3 Domain Sherpa review shows that we're going to eat our own dog food. We're going to be we have been reviewing the Sherpa's own domain name portfolios, the good, the bad, and the recent purchases. And with that, we're going to jump right into the first section of the show. In the domain portfolio review, we take a user-submitted domain name portfolio and provide honest and constructive feedback to the owner. Today, we're going to review the portfolio of our own Shane Cultra, resident green thumb expert in the domain name industry. If you're watching the show on YouTube, click in the link in the description below to look at all the domain names we're discussing on today's show. Shane, as part of your review, Domain Sherpa has made a donation on your behalf to our charity of choice, the Fred Hutchinson Cancer Research Center, which is working hard to help us all find a cure for cancer. Why this charity? Because cancer touches every family in the world, and we need to stop it. And it sucks. So here's how Shane's review is going to work. Adam and Drew are going to review Shane's portfolio without any input from Shane. If I had a way to mute just his, I would, because I know he wants to jump in and talk about his domain names. After Adam and Drew are done with each section, including the best, the worst, and the most recent, Shane will get a rebuttal opportunity to talk about why he registered certain domains, his strategy, why the other Sherpas missed the mark, or why they might have hit it on the head. After Shane's thoughts, I'm going to flip the camera around and we're going to use the Domain IQ tool to compare Shane's picks with what I see. And so when Shane submitted these domains, he didn't know that I was going to use the Domain IQ tool to check it out. And then I'm going to ask the entire Sherpa panel for a general consensus on each list, what we as investors can learn and take away from the list. Who knows? Maybe one of the other two Sherpas will make an offer to buy one or more domains from Shane. Before we get started, do you want to see a ballpark estimate of how much Shane's portfolio is worth by Domain IQ, guys? You know, so this is a comparison to Drew's $4.9 million, or Drew's company's $4.9 million and Adam's $3.25 million. All right, we're going to check it out. So let's see. How do I do this again? Share screen.
I forgot about the Domain IQ part of it. Oh, boy.
I know, buddy. Here we go.
Shane, how many of your domains do you actually have compared to what Domain IQ will show? Because mine only had like 20% of mine.
All right, let's check it out. So I'm going to type in...
400 to 450, so it probably showed...
Yeah, so I'm only showing 273 domains right now.
Yeah.
So let's go over to the portfolio tab, active domains. So of your 400 plus, it's only showing 282. Not bad here, Shane. Estimated portfolio value just shy of $1 million.
That's because of one domain.
So, I love some of the ways that Domain IQ lets me look at it. Clearly, you have landscaping domains. Here's what I want to check out later. You've got P domains.
I don't know. That's got to be... I don't know. We'll find out.
We will find out. All right. Let's start with Shane's most valuable portfolio. It starts with AsianPair.com and ends with Viburnum.com. Did I pronounce that right, Shane?
We have to ask how to pronounce it. That's not a great start.
Viburnum. I don't know. It's in Wikipedia. So, all right. That's all you get. Adam, let's start with you. What do you like on Shane's most valuable portfolio list and why?
So Shane's list was interesting. The one thing that I do like about it is that there's a couple things, but the one thing I like about it is that Shane is sticking to what most people should do but don't. Shane is sticking to what Shane knows. So Shane has invested revenue in, obviously we know he does a lot to do with landscaping and greenery and plants and nurseries. So he's got, I didn't know what a fairy garden was, and then I Googled it, and I thought, wow, this is pretty cool. And there's lots of people that like these things. So my evaluation of that went up. So I think it's undervalued at $9,900 by Estabot. Mm-hmm. I looked at Asian Pair, and I laughed to myself because I thought that's the discussion we had last week about the plural is better and the singular is better sometimes. So I thought to myself, the plural is better here. And then as I looked through his portfolio, I found out that he picked it up later on, and we'll find out later. But then I had to look up some of these things, because I didn't know what some of these were, and I'm not going to pronounce them right. But Coleus and Viburnum had to do with plants, so I thought that was interesting. I thought, so I liked Asian Pears, I liked Fairy Garden, but I really like Landscape Designer. There's a lot of money in doing plans, and as we're more and more technologically advanced, people want to see what it's going to look like before they spend money, and they do it. And I've had people do landscape plans for me, and they charge anywhere from $300 to $800. I mean, it's a good thing. So that one's really good for some big money software or anything like that. It's a great, or a service, because what they can do is they can take a picture of their house, which I've done before with other people, and send it in. Then you can do it and send it to them. So even though it's landscape, it's electronic, so it's not something you have to be there for. Landscaping.net, I'm not a huge .net fan, but that's a decent name. It's a good name. So I think it's a good name. Sugar Maple, I wasn't really keen on this one because I don't know if he's thinking about sugar maple trees, or I was thinking sugar maple cookies. It could be anything. So for me, it wasn't specific enough. Surfboard.net, good name. You can easily sell surfboards on that. Good brandable. Tool Chest. I like this one because I think, and I'm not thinking so much about tools as in tool chest. I'm thinking it's also a great name for some sort of a software company that wants to put out a bunch of utilities. You can call it a tool chest for Windows 8. You could also sell tool chests, so it's good. It's got some brandability. Now here's where I go a little bit off the board here, and I know we've discussed this name before with his trunk. I just don't. I Googled it. I put in trunk, and I came up with custom trunks that people want to buy. I'm sure he's got other reasons for buying it, but for me, Esteban puts it almost 600K. I just don't see that. I know it's his baby, so he's got his ideas and what he's doing with it, and I respect that. But for me, I don't see it as a 600K name.
What do you see it as? What do you think's a fair retail value to an end user?
It's really hard to say because I'm not. I mean, he's obviously got something else he's doing with it besides custom trunks. Because if it was just selling custom trunks, I would put it a lot lower. But he's a smart guy. He knows what he's doing. And the trunk was a defensive registration, I believe, against trunk, or it could be selling the trunk. I did do some research, and as you mentioned before the show started, I did find Trunk Club, and I think that's where they show you a bunch of clothes, and you pick out what you want, and they throw it all in the trunk and ship it to you, which is kind of a cool thing. But I'm not sure he's probably not thinking about that. What I did notice was that I did take a look, because I think the problem with Shane's portfolio is he looked at it, I think, of his 10 most important to him, rather than looking at what the average user would look at when they look at his portfolio. So I did take a quick look, and I found some that I did like better in there. Do you want me to go over those now, or?
Save those for when we open up the Domain IQ, and I'm going to ask you about that.
Okay.
So I'm going to ask you about what you think are more valuable domain names. Drew, let's go over to you. What do you think of? Which domains do you think have the most value from these 10 domains that Shane has presented?
Yeah, so I mean, Adam touched on most of it. I agree on some and disagree on others. Far and away for me, trunk.com, I mean, that stands out to me as being a phenomenal brand name.
Yeah.
As I've said before, we do a lot of work with startups that come to us and say, okay, we want a 4 to 5 letter .com, one word, dictionary word that's, uber generic, that can be, virtually anything. And, to me, trunk.com fits that perfectly, right? Easy to spell. Everybody knows how to spell it. Everybody recognizes it when they hear it. There's no confusion. It's a very old domain. Looks like it was an original owner before Shane bought it, which I like. I like that he's got thetrunk.com with it. It's a nice little add-on. I don't know that you extract a ton more value, but it's a nice, it's like kind of one of those things that might get somebody over the hump, right. Pay the highest price, if they were on the fence. I think Esteban is, ambitious. I'd probably be pricing this, if it was in my portfolio, at I'd be pricing it at like $150, $150 to $250 in that range, and I think that's probably in line with what most of the startups that are coming to me saying, okay, we want this 4 to 5 letter oneword.com. It's very generic, and most of them have a budget, anywhere from $50,000 to up to $400,000, and most of them are in that $150 to $250 range.
Yeah, and I think that's fair. That just to Esteban's defense, not that Esteban needs any defense, they never claim to be an exact estimate, that it's an order of magnitude. And if they're saying that order of magnitude is 556,000, you're saying it's 150 to 250, that's only off by, a factor of 2. It's the same order of magnitude. We're not talking about a $50,000 domain name, $50,000 domain name when it's 500,000 or 20,000 when it's 200,000.
The right order of magnitude, and I'm also not discounting Esteban's value entirely. If you get the right company, for instance, one of the absolute biggest spaces that is blowing up on the web right now in startup world is fashion. There are so many fashion tech companies that are getting funding right now, and there's big funding going into them. I mean, even Google launched into the fashion world, was it last year, with boutique.com. And, boutique is for 99% of, Joe America, they don't know how to spell boutique.com. So, I see Trunk as being a really good candidate in a really hot space. And it doesn't have to be fashion. I mean, trunk.com can be, travel. I think even oversea.net in their sort of, they had that, well, they sold the domain inventory, but they have a premium portfolio like airportparking.com and some other developed sites that they operate.
Yeah.
And one of those, I don't remember what the name was, but it was a weekend they came up with a terrible name for it.
Oh, yeah.
I don't remember what it was.
I remember.
But it was like all about weekend travel. Travel you can do in your car just for a weekend. And again, trunk.com would be a great brand for that. So I think, if we spent half an hour thinking about it more, there's probably, 5 or 10 other verticals that it would be a great, application for.
I'm sure Shane would not appreciate that, hearing how much more valuable his domain name is. All right, so you like Trunk. And the other question I was going to answer that you answered already, Drew, when these startups are coming to you, because you are working with startups a lot, they're looking, for the 4 or 5 letter single word dictionary word, and they're looking to spend in the 150 to 250 range. Is that what you'd say most of them are that are funded?
Yeah. I think if I took the average or let's say the mean, I think that's probably pretty spot on in that range. Okay. And then, of course, once in a while you get a whale that will spend 400 or 500,000.
And you think a domain name like trunk.com could, in the best case scenario, go for 400?
Yeah, I don't think you're going to get that in an outbound sale. I think if there's a boardroom discussion and they say, okay, we're going to be trunk.com, and they hire me to go get it.
Yeah.
There's a chance. I mean, they're going to you're talking basically for them to pay $500,000 to buy trunk.com. You're talking about a startup. It would most likely have to be a startup, right? Unless it was a big company that was deciding to launch a new service or something. So it would have to be a startup. And in order to buy this domain for $500,000, they probably had to raise like $25 million in funding. So there's not a ton of $25 million rounds going around, but it does happen, and it is happening. So it's certainly plausible. And in the fashion world, I mean, it's very difficult to find a good, much like we talked about with tea. It's very difficult to find a good one-word generic, big one-word generic in the fashion space, among other spaces. So.
Yeah.
So I like it. Other names that I love, I like toolchest.com. I like a lot. I actually sold that to Shane. Or let's say Shane stole it from me.
Yeah, and I like that one too. To Adam's point, I think there are a lot of software companies like Bento Box was really popular a couple of years ago. Tool Chest I've always liked. That was a
great name,
great brand.
Yeah, great brand for any type of software as a service business or webmaster tools or a million applications for that.
I agree.
Landscaping.net, although it's a .net, I mean, that you're talking about a monster keyword. I mean, obviously Shane knows better than any of us, but I know of several landscaping companies that I dealt with. My first company was when I was still in college, and we were building custom database software for like small, service-based businesses like nurseries, landscaping companies, pool service companies. And we did a project for a big landscaping company in Long Island, New York, Eastern Long Island, and that was like a $10 million company, or if not more. They were huge. They're monstrous. They had like 1,000 acres of land in Eastern Long Island. I mean, that alone is probably worth more than 10 million. So, anyways, I look at a company like that and I go, okay, landscaping.net. I mean, there's definitely 2 handfuls of companies out there, at least, that would pay you, 25 to 50 grand for that name easily. And I honestly think the value is probably even more than that. Landscape designer, I mean, it's spot on for what it is. It's a little bit long, so I don't love it, but it is a solid name because that is the job description.
Yeah. All right, give me one more, Drew.
And people pay a lot of money for it too. I mean, one job can be hundreds of thousands of dollars. Yeah, if I had to pick one more, it'd be between sugar maple and Asian pear. Both are like very well-known plant species or trees, and they make for one of those good mid-range brands. I can definitely see a company coming along and paying you 15, 25 grand, if not more. Maybe it's probably a ceiling on that of 35 or maybe a little bit more, 50 if you stretch it. But I think I think that there's a very good chance of getting a $15,000 to $25,000 sale there at some point on one of those.
Adam, what were you going to say?
Can I suggest we start to put an egg timer or something on this?
All right. I am the egg timer.
Yours ran a lot longer than mine.
All right. I'm going to flip the camera around, but before I do, and we look at Domain IQ, Shane, how do you think Adam and Drew did on the valuations? Did they pick the ones that were most valuable in your eyes?
Yeah, I mean, it's tough for them because they're being nice. Drew has to be nice somewhat because he sold me a couple of the names. So,
he sold you a tool chest. What else did he sell you?
Landscaping.net.
Landscaping. He sold me 3 of them now that I look at. No, tool chest and landscaping.net he sold me.
Are you pissed that you bought a .net from Drew? Tell him.
No, because,
you can tell him.
No, he got a great price for landscaping.net.
I mean, I do millions of dollars, and that's the thing, and I'll say real quickly, like Coleus, it doesn't mean a lot to anybody, but I literally sell $50,000 to $100,000 of that one plant every year. Wow. And millions are sold of them every year. It's a #1 plant annual in this area, and I've been offered.
Clearly, people are searching for it because it's got an Estabot value of $56,000. I didn't look at the individual statistics, but it's usually based on search volume 10. And advertising, and yeah.
I get offered 10. That's the thing about plant names is they're not just plants; they're also brands. But to me, they're plants, so it works both ways.
Hey Shane, Adam said that you picked domains that were maybe valuable to you and not necessarily valuable to everybody. Are these the most valuable domain names in your portfolio, or are these the most valuable domain names in your portfolio to you?
Well, I had to have a little Estabot in there. I'm not going to lie. There had to be some numbers in there. But I did go to the things that I sell the most of that still had Estabot. So, my portfolio is things that I can make money on, things that people will buy, and then there's flippable names. The flippable names are not always there, and they're not there right now because I had a great year last year selling numerics and all my stuff. So had I known we were doing the show, I wouldn't have sold anything last year just for this show.
All right, fair enough.
Mike, before you go to Domain IQ, can I go over what I think are some of his best names before I can look at them?
Sure.
So I really liked, and he's got some good brandables. Shane likes to use his mind a lot, and I really like that. So, but let's go over the ones that I think would have value to anybody. Birchtrees.com, flowerbeds.com, gardencomposters.com. And this one is probably, these two next ones are probably his 2 best, and he doesn't have them on here. Genetictest.com. That could be for anything. He may have bought it for Plant World, but it's for people too. Yeah. And then the other one that's a brandable that he could easily sell is weedgrower.com. I mean, it's still a good name.
Weedgrower.com? What do I spread that out and piss off my neighbors?
Yeah, sure, why not?
The neighbors that are pissing me off, I go spread out Weed Grower on their lawn.
Weed Grower.
Weed Grower.
Like it's weed. You're thinking about plants. At least you're. I thought he could. I'm sure he's going to get a bid from Drew on that one. But then let's take a quick look at some of the brandables he's got. I love the fact that he registered. I'll say that one for last. Dead Plant Society, like Dead Poet Society. That one can't be good for too much unless they need it removed. But I like that'sdumb.com. It's a good info site for things that are true, things that are not true. And then an immigration name he's got that I really like. KeepYouLegal.com. Love it. Immigration lawyer would love that name.
Yeah.
Illinois Gardener, good brandable. Nursery News, good brandable. It could be for like nursery school. It doesn't have to be just for plants.
Right.
And then the one that I really like that he's doing some wordplay on that I like is thecultraclub.com.
I know. Cool. We're going to get to that one because I think he put it in his most recent or his, I don't know. We'll get to that one.
But it is worse, but I like it.
All right, so I'm going to share my my screen.
Well, what does he think of the ones I mentioned?
Here comes Domain IQ. I like them too. Shane, what do you think of the ones that Adam mentioned?
You know, one of my favorite, I didn't put, is haveashittyday.com.
All right, before we get to Drew to Shane's most valuable ones, I got to look at this P one right here, so I just click on it.
I don't know what it is either.
Oh, it's speedplayer.com, and it's words that have the word P in them. It's not actually P domains. All right, so let's go over here to let's see. I'm going to open this up a little bit more. Related domains, click on filter. I can come down here to, let's see, most
Everybody
valuable.
sees my name is Terrence. Oh, no.
Greater than 100,000, trunk.com, of course. We talked about that one. $50 to $100,000.
Hold on, Mike, you're missing something here.
Tool chest. What am I missing?
Shane?
No, you can see my middle name is Shane, so everybody can see my God-given name of Terrence.
Yeah, I know Terrence.
No worries.
Hit it, Terrence. All right, people that have young kids will get that. Birch trees, which Adam mentioned. Dirt.net.
Well, I just bought 20,000 cubic yards of black farm soil, and it's sitting on my property, and I sell it for $30 a yard. So I got hundreds of thousands of dollars of dirt. So I figured Dirt.net would be a good thing to put on the dirt.
I actually just bought dirt for my beach house. We got to redo some of the gardens, and I just paid $25 a meter, a square meter, cubic meter, or cubic meter square. How does it sold?
And I'm going to throw in for landscape designer. I have the opportunity to buy landscape architect and landscape architects from the buyer, but I don't think people can spell architect. So I'm sticking with designer.
They probably can't.
Yeah, you guys, you agree, Drew? People can't spell architect?
I mean, architect is... I don't
Go ahead, Drew. Spell it. Spell architect, Drew.
ARCHITECT.
Bam! All right. Any offers that you guys want to make to Shane for any of these domains? Viburnum.com.
Hey, look at my new site on that one. It's actually pretty good.
Are you serious? You've got a website on Viburnum?
We just built it last week.
How do you really pronounce it, Shane?
Viburnum.
Viburnum.
So a funny story behind that is...
Ooh, that looks good, buddy.
The guy that owned that was one of the biggest viburnum growers in the world, and I offered him $5,000. He told me no, he'd sell for $10,000, and then I saw it come up for sale on NameJet. He passed away and let him expire, and I picked him up for $69.
Oh my God!
I wouldn't say that's a funny story.
No.
No, did I say funny?
Yeah.
No, he was a good man, but when I saw that, I knew he had passed because there's no way he's letting him go.
Yeah.
And nobody knows what they are but me. But we sell tens of thousands of viburnum.
Wow. All right. So if I ask a question on that website, are you going to answer it?
Yeah. I'm live right now.
So I have a quick question for Shane that may tie him in with Andrew.
Quick break from 3 sponsors of today's show. First, are you tired of being upsold and cross-sold when you buy or renew a domain? Then try the newest registrar being built from the ground up with a beautiful interface, competitive pricing, and 24/7 support. Uniregistry.com will surprise and delight you. The right domain can change your life. Uniregistry.com. If you're a domain name investor, don't you have unique legal needs that require domain name technical know-how and industry experience? That's why you need David Westlow of Wiley Rhine. If you've watched David's DomainSherpa interviews, you know he can clearly explain issues and help you with buy-sell agreements, domain name theft cases, UDRP actions, and even website terms and conditions. David Westlow is the lawyer to call for internet legal issues. See for yourself at davidwestlow.com. Finally, if you're buying a domain name from a private party and want to know what else they own, DomainIQ.com is the tool you should be using. View their entire portfolio, filter by Estabot value, and be a better investor. $49.95 for 250 queries per month. Visit DomainIQ.com/portfolio to learn more.
So I have a quick question for Shane that may tie him in with Andrew. When weed is legal, in your state. Will you start growing it?
Well, I am somewhat part of a application to grow weed in Illinois. So
Really?
I'm not positive I will, but I will certainly probably be part of it. I don't know. It just depends.
It's interesting.
Yeah. All right.
There's more money in annuals though, because you plant them, they're $4, they die, and they buy them again. It's a lot better way.
Well, then you better keep that weed grower one just in case.
Yeah, just in case.
Weed's the same way. You grow it, they smoke it, and then they buy more.
Yeah. I was gonna say they're gonna re-up on that way more than twice a year.
But Michael, for some reason you thought we were just gonna plant weeds on other people's yards.
I guess I am.
Grow weeds.
All right, least valuable portfolio as submitted by Shane from his portfolio. 10 names. It starts with bananas for scale.com, not for sale, for scale, and then it ends with who9.com. It could be who dat, but it's just too cool that I don't even know what it is. So, Adam, let's start with you. Least valuable. Would you hand register any of these if I provided this list to you and you said, hey, these are all for hand reg?
Yes, I would.
Which ones would you register?
So I'll tell you that it looks like he had a man crush on Channing Tatum, so that wouldn't be the one. I would definitely register flat panel mounts, and I would definitely register tilt beds because it's a product. Those are products. Products always do well. And flat panel mounts, there's nothing wrong with that domain name. It's clearly not his worst domain name.
All right. Name 2 domains you'd definitely let drop?
I'm going to say bananas for scale was a typo, so I'm going to drop that one.
Drunken Shane hits it again.
And then, surprisingly enough, his Gale or PETA is from the Hunger Games after I did some research, so I'm going to let that one go. Although I really like E.
E. Hey, Drew, let's go over to you. Same question as I asked Adam, if I sent you these 10 names and said, hey Drew, these are all for registration cost only, which ones would you hand register today?
Yeah, I think flatpanelmounts.com is a it's a good name, and those can be pretty expensive. They're like $50, $75 for a wall mount. So that one's certainly worth registering and owning and renewing. I don't, I don't know.
All right. Enough said. You would not probably register any others. Shane Cultra, why'd you put flat panel mounts and tiltbeds.com in your worst 10?
Well, NameJet is a great sponsor, but I will say you have to clean out your old register things. And I'd say 9 of those, not only did I accidentally get once, but I got twice on a lot of those by not clearing out my old register.
So explain the situation for anybody that hasn't used NameJet. If you go on NameJet and you're like, ooh, flat panel mounts is going to be expiring soon. You see it in the emails or you see it in the list. You put in a back order at $69, but you didn't get it originally?
Correct. Well, some I did. Okay, so some I did, some I didn't. Like I did get, and these are from 7 years ago. So 7 years ago, some of these product names in the .nets were fine, especially for $69.
Right.
Well, now they're not. So some of them I let expire, and then I let them expire, and my old bid is still in there, so I let it expire, and I pick it up one more time.
All right.
And it's not just once. I mean, who wants chisaningshowboat.org? I mean, but the only thing is it does get traffic. It gets like 30 or 40 visits a day, so it pays for its renewal fee.
Chisaningshowboat.org gets 30 visitors a day?
Yeah, and it makes 50 cents a day or 20. It's not much.
Wow.
But
dude, why is that your worst?
$150 a year. I mean, that's not.
Yeah.
That's certainly.
Yeah, no, I mean,
that shouldn't be your worst. That's generating revenue.
Well, yeah, but it's my worst story.
All right.
But in Bananas for Scale, if you go to Reddit, there's a thing about pictures where they throw a banana in the picture so you can tell exactly how big it is. And so people say, I don't have any idea what the size is unless there's a banana in there.
That's pretty funny. Okay, now I get it. It wasn't.
Is that an adult thread?
You type it into Google and see what comes up. You'll be surprised how many Banana for Scale things there are.
All right, we're going back over to Domain IQ. We're going to look at some domains here that are related. I'm going to put on the filters. Let's see here. You want to look at Shane's .infos? He's got.
Oh yeah.
They're actually decent. They're good. Arborist.info, degreeonline.info, footcare.info.
Footcare is good.
I don't know. Coreopsis.
Coreopsis. I bought that one, and it ranks pretty well for it's a plant, but Schilling owns the .com, and I'm not paying Schilling prices. So I hand registered the .info, and it ranks just as well for me.
Yeah, I don't see a bunch of other TLDs here. You don't have any, or Domain IQ didn't index them?
No, I don't. I practice what I preach.
Good for you, man. All right.
Except for in your last 10, which we'll talk about.
So I'm going to go look at your Polish domain, your Polish language. Let's see what that is. Oh, it's E.
What does that mean in Polish? It means
I don't know.
Ouch.
I think it means get rid of the E's.
All right. Let's go look at his 22-character domain name. He's got 4 of them. Let's see.
They're going to be plants.
Groundwater remediation.
Oh, that's good.
That is
like
a good
that.
one.
Groundwater remediation. I've been offered thousands for that.
Yeah,
My
what's
friend
the
is the
value on
foremost
that one?
expert.
That's got to be pretty high.
Oh, it's like a $50 CPC or something.
Yeah.
Nice.
I'm surprised you didn't put that one in your top 10.
I hand registered that one.
It says it's wow. It says it's only 6,000, but yeah, 590 exact matches searches, $15 CPC. Yeah.
I also like unsportsmanlike conduct as a brand.
That is a good one.
Oh,
Yeah.
Pine Beetle Wood Products. I had a contest on my blog to buy the worst domain name I could find, and that's the one that won.
Well, this is no fun. Your long domain names are actually good, Shane.
Yeah. I'm going to have to throw an unsportsmanlike conduct flag on my wife tonight.
Planting instructions. I need some of those. I kill everything I plant.
That gets good type-in traffic, too.
Why don't you build that one out?
Amish Christmas lights. What's that?
That used to be one of my most popular sites. It was a whole website of just black screens. Every single picture was just black.
Well, they can have them. They just can't plug them in.
You got it. It was hilarious. It was just a bunch of black pictures.
That's cool.
All right. The last 10 that Shane registered, the list starts with AsianPairs.com. It includes a .cc, coins.cc, which Shane has blogged about many times in the past that he likes the .cc's, and the list ends with yellowpony.com. Adam, what do you think of these last 10? So this show, we can see Shane's best portfolio, what he thinks is his worst portfolio, and then this is sort of where he's trending. What do you think about his trend?
So obviously he's improving his Asian pair by adding Asian pairs. So I think that's a good domain name. Good pickup for him. Only he can tell us if he sells a lot of Asian pear trees or plants or whatever.
Delicious.
I have a feeling he does, and I've eaten Asian pears. Coins.cc, I mean, I don't get that one. I've got my notes say what were you thinking, but if he's already blogged about it a couple times, we'll get to that.
Well, not specifically that domain, so we'll ask him.
All right. Dirt.net, after his recent explanation, it makes a bit more sense.
Mm-hmm.
I like Find a Run. I think that's kind of like a Map My Run site, except it helps you find a run.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's good. Some of the other ones, Refuse to Quit, it's a good slogan. 7 Doves, it's got some religious, in Christianity, it's got to do with Holy Spirit, and in the Old Testament, it's got to do with the 7 gifts of God. So I think that's a pretty good brand. You can clearly see I did my research. I like Unusual Plants. I think that's good. I think that's the best of the bunch for me here.
Huh.
Because I think people like unusual plants. They don't want everything that everybody else has. They like unusual plants. So I love that one. And Yellow Pony is a friend of My Little Ponies. He must be watching them for his daughter or something. But it's the friendship of magic, OCB, Took or something. I don't know. I looked it up. Prairie Plants is good too. And I'm sure garden sitter means something different to him than it does to us. To me, it means a babysitter to watch your plants. It would be a really boring job.
What are you going to do when you go on vacation?
Hey, no talking.
He'll explain it. He'll explain it when we get to it. So I like unusual plants and Asian pears as my two top points.
Yeah. All right. Drew, let's go over to you. What do you think about the trend that Shane has here?
Yeah, so, I mean, I like most of these names. You know, I'm not sure that it's indicative of a trend or not, but, you know, I don't see any crap in here. I actually like Asian pear better than I like Asian pears, but I do like that he has both because, again, that's like, if anybody's on the fence, they can't go one way or the other. It's bam, here's the pear, done deal.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not you know, the .cc, I'm not a fan, but I guess if you're going to own one, coins.cc is hell of a keyword. You know, dirt, we talked about before, like it. I like Find a Run a lot. I mean, everything we do with marathons and decathlons and you know, triathlons, it's just a huge market and growing fast. And
so if you heard somebody screaming in the background, it wasn't Shane's wife. It was Drew's. It was Drew's child.
We all get that.
And then I like Refuse to Quit a lot. I mean, that's just a badass slogan.
That's the kind of domain that like, Berkens sells for like $20K every single week and pisses me off when he posts his Facebook updates.
Pay like $50,000 for Refuse to Quit. You know, that's a hell of a brand, and if he's smart, he's going to price it high because somebody big will use that as a slogan. And it's just you know, it's not one. There's no. I mean, okay, you can have like do not quit or don't quit, but I think Refuse to Quit is just so much stronger.
So do you think Refuse to Quit? Do you think Refuse to Quit should have been in his top 10 list?
Well, you know, again, I mean, my idea of value is about liquidity. So Refuse to Quit is one of these names. It's like you can probably pick it up pretty cheap, but I think your upside is huge. But you know, if you're like, oh my God, I need to raise cash, you're not going to get a lot of money on that name in like the investor community. You probably get a couple grand maybe, but I don't think. I think more than that would be tough.
Yeah. All right, Drew, I'm going to wrap it up just because we need to get on to some to the other list and some questions. Shane, rebuttal. What did they say that you didn't agree with about your last 10 lists?
Well, you know, the thing about these are value names. I'm just because I got them all for next to nothing doesn't mean I'm going to sell them all for next to nothing. But I work hard to find names at good value.
Yeah.
And that's
what'd you pay for Refuse to Quit?
I think $200 or $300.
Nice.
I can't remember. I got it recently on an auction. It was up for public auction. Everybody had a chance to bid on it.
Nice.
But when you look at names every day and go through them, there's going to some that they're going to slip through. And the more auction sites that are up there, that's better for buyers because there's a lot of names to look through at night.
You have a daily list that comes out on your blog. I don't remember seeing that one on there, Shane.
Well, I will say this. Occasionally name. So I forget to type something.
Oh, sometimes. You can only put so many on there. Coins.cc. What is your explanation on that one, Shane?
Well, you know, Bitcoin is Bitcoin, and I will say that Coinbase inquired about it. We could not agree on a price.
Huh.
So Adam would have told me to take anything, and I could have taken nothing huge, but it was 20 times my investment. So .cc is a value play. It has nowhere to go with up, but
I don't even know what .cc is. Is it country code?
It's a kind of, I don't know what country.
all 2-character TLDs are country codes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's easy to type out. I go to bed at night hoping that VeriSign will put $50 million into a .cc marketing campaign someday because they want to play on it. You know, I don't know. The names I have lawyers.cc. I have what I think are the top 10 names in .cc, and I don't have a lot in them, and we're just going to watch and see what happens. If I don't make anything, I don't make anything.
Yeah. Well, cool to see your latest purchases there, Shane. Thanks for opening up your portfolio and letting us take a look. Adam gets the final word before we move on to NameJet.
One tip for users watching this show: if you're a prosecuting attorney, you may want refuse to acquit. It's available.
It's available.
It's available.
Go. All right, we're going to move on to the marketplace list. Shane?
Sorry, a garden sitter, when you go away on vacation and you have a garden, somebody's got to water the damn thing.
Seriously. Yeah, my dad used to...
I actually have a garden sitter. I have a garden sitter.
My dad used to do bonsai trees and was a bonsai master, and I hated when he was like not home and I had to go out there for an hour and water every single plant. Yeah, lots of plants need TLC. All right, the next section is the marketplace list.
I got a quick plant joke for Shane while we're here.
You got a joke?
Yeah, it was a funny one I heard. It was, I've seen a lot of, I'm not really directing it to Shane, but I will. Shane, I've seen a lot of pricks in my time, but you, sir, are a cactus. And that's not really meant for Shane. It was just a good joke.
I know.
That's a good one.
All right. This section is sponsored by NameJet. We're going to be reviewing 15 domain names heading to auction soon. Because NameJet is both an expired domain platform and a private sales platform, I always start by asking the Sherpas if any of the domains below are owned by you guys, that you are selling them for full disclosure. On the list, guys, do you see any names you own?
No.
All right. If you like one of the names, click through ASAP, because once they go to auction, you lose your chance to put in a minimum bid and be a part of the auction. The links below are for tracking purposes only. We don't get a commission on them. But one or two of the domains, I believe, ends in auction today, the day that this video comes out. So get over there quickly. The list starts with a numeric 7147.com and ends with upmy.com. That's right, upmy.com. Shane, we're going to give you the first word today. What do you like on the NameJet list and why?
Well, the obvious one is 7147. It's $10,000 plus, most likely, even on NameJet. So that's an obviously good one. Get good weed. You know, it's a long 3-word, but it's hot. I mean, anything weed, getting weed, buying weed. Drew can go into more detail on that. Punches is a pretty good one. Punches is a good brand. You're not going to sell punches, throw punches, but it's a good brand. I, for some reason, think of clowns. I don't know why I think of punches. That's a real nice one. There's money to be made in theme, like theme pros. There's a ton of money in
There's
WordPress.
There's a lot of money in themes.
So that's going to go Greenfest. We know organic, green, vegan, all that's well. So Greenfest will probably do well.
All right, give me one more, Shane.
Oh, yeah, and then the seductions, the Ashley Madison of generic keywords, I guess. Something along those lines. Those are pretty good. And the one I don't like surround sound speakers, I think it's a product. I think those days have passed. I don't think people are going to be using that. Adam will disagree with me, but I'm not typing that in and looking for surround sound. I'm going to Amazon.
Well, I'll ask Adam, but before we move on, let's set some prices. What do you think? You're on NameJet every day. You know what the values of these domains are going for in the reseller market, which NameJet is primarily. 7147.com, you said it'll probably sell for $10,000 every day. Getgoodweed.com, is that a $5,000 name or a $1,000 name?
No, it'll sell for $1,240.
You're going for $1,240. What about Punches?
Punches will go for $3,800.
Only $3,800? All right, I'm gonna ask these guys what they think. Theme Pros, I like that one too. What do you think that one will sell for?
I think it goes for $800, $900. I think we know it's themes, but I think it gets overlooked.
All right.
Well, it would have gotten overlooked.
All right. Thanks, Shane. Let's move to your left. Drew, what do you think of the list at NameJet?
Not one of the better lists we've seen from them, but a few good names in here. I really like, it's funny, I think probably the names that I like the most on here are ones that the other guys probably aren't even going to mention, but I really like mypassion.com. I don't know why. I mean, it's kind of like, I had mycraft and yourcraft.com, mypassion.com. It's, do something you're passionate about. I like that name a lot. I think that's a solid name.
What do you think it'll sell for?
Well, based on Adam's recent sale of mylearning.com at I think 14 or 15 grand, I think it's probably right in that range, 15 grand. I'd probably price it at 25 and then see where the buyer ends up. Start coding, it's an okay name. It's not a name I pay much for. The other one I really liked was Undiet. I like undiet.com just because diet is such a big thing, and now all the new diets are diets that are not supposed to be diets.
Right.
And so I think undiet.com is a great name for that. And you have huge brands out there like unbox.com or Unboxed. I forget which. I don't know, Unbox or Uncrate.com. And it's like new products that come to market. They do YouTube videos showing you what's in the box and what it looks like, and got the demonstration, etc. Okay. And that's huge. I mean, we're talking some of the highest web traffic websites on the out there. So I like undiet.com because that sort of something, even though it doesn't necessarily make sense, has been proven, and it's in the public mindset already because of some of these larger brands.
Yeah. So
I like that name a lot, and I would definitely buy that, and I would.
What would you pay for it on NameJet?
I might pay a couple grand for that one, just because I think the upside is there, and I don't think there's a ton of alternatives to fit that specific niche that I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Even if I'm not clear in describing it. And then I like greenfest.com just because, it can apply to a lot of different things. Yeah. That's about it.
Cool. Adam, let's go over to you. What do you like on the list and why?
I like the number domain. It's obvious. I like Get Good Weed, but it's not to be confused with the lumber company called Get Good Wood.
Or the adult company.
Yes,
now, let me stop you there for a second, Adam. Is Get Good Weed a good investment domain for people watching? Or, clearly Get Weed or goodweed.com are better, or are they better? Let me ask you that.
We own Good Weed.
So, what do you think, Adam? Is Get Good Weed a 3-word domain name good as an investment, or should investors watching this show strive for Good Weed like Drew owns or getweed.com?
I got to be honest, I kind of like it with the action.
Also,
whose turn is it? Drew, go ahead. Tell them what you want to say. Go ahead.
I'm just saying, I think we both own both of those alternatives.
All right.
So I like it with the action word on it. Get Good Weed. I think it's good. I like it. I think it's
all
good.
Right. What do you think it'll sell for on NameJet?
Well, now that we've discussed it, it's going to sell for more than it should.
What do you think it should sell for?
I don't know. I'll put it. It's going to sell at around $1,200 right now.
Okay.
So green entrepreneurs. I like green entrepreneurs better, so I would drop the second EN.
Uh-huh.
It's already taken, but it's expired, so it's going to be the drop soon. I like that better. Greenfest is good because there's all kinds of shows and fests. And Drew said I disagree with him. I do like My Passions. I think it's great and I thought of a hobby site before he told me, and so we're in agreement. I like it as a hobby site. If I'm passionate about something, I think I could. People work harder on things they're passionate about, and they put more effort into it. So I think it could be a good site to list all kinds of hobby crafts and things like that. And maybe even good to do a hobby site, almost like a Fiverr site. Who knows? It's not bad. Punches, I think, is a good word. I don't think we'd be punching many clowns, like Shane said, but people would pay for that to punch clowns. A lot of people hate clowns. Punches is a good.
I would totally pay to punch a clown.
I don't want to get into it, but it's better than punching the donkey. Anyway, Punches is good. I mean, I think it's a good name. I think that it's easy to spell. People know how to spell it. They know what it is. And maybe it'd be a good site for anti-bullying. I don't know. I mean, there's lots of options for it. Seduction is a great site. Dating site. That's probably the winner here, Seductions.
Yeah.
And then the other one I do like is Theme Pros. I think that's a good brand for if you're going to sell custom themes or themes in WordPress. I think it's a great name. But I like Get Good Weed, the Numeric, and Seduction.
Seductions, all three of you. What do you think it'll sell for, Adam? What do you think it'll sell for?
It's going to sell way below what it's worth. I'm going to say it's going to sell at about $6,500.
All right. Drew, what do you think Seductions.com will sell for?
I think it has a hard time breaking $1,000. I don't see the value in that name at all. I wouldn't. I honestly, personally, seductions.com, I wouldn't pay more than $100 for it, or $200.
Now, seduction.com, you'd pay $10,000, $20,000 all day long.
I pay, I might pay $100,000 for seduction.com. I might pay more. I mean, that's, maybe one of the best dating sites you could own. But seductions.com, I don't even think that's. All
right, Shane, settle this dispute.
Seductions is an event. Seduction is a thing. Seductions, that happens. So, I'd say...
from the master, baby. So what do you think it's going to sell for on NameJet?
I was thinking $3,000 before this talk and $5,000 after. So
there you go. He agreed with me. Good work.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to track seductions.com on NameJet and revisit that on a later show. Nobody liked... Say it, Adam. What were you
nobody
saying?
liked UpMy.
Nobody liked UpMy.com?
Actually, I do like that name, but you cut me off. I did. That was going to be my next one. I do like that one.
And we like the shirt. I mean, the shirt's a good, T-shirt site. That would be fine. Nobody's going to disagree with that either.
I think that UpMy may be better off with some sort of GTLD. Something, I don't know what.
Yeah.
Dot ass.
Up my business or something. That'd be good. That's a brandable.
All right, last section of the show. We got 5 minutes left. Can I get an extra 5 minutes from you guys? Do you guys have that time to go over?
Sure.
All right, so I've got a few questions. I want to get to them all. The first one came from Adam's portfolio review. Aria said, Adam has a tremendous portfolio. I wish I could figure out how to acquire names like this. Mike, can you ask the Sherpas how that can be done? I think that's a lot of the frustration that new investors have today. How do they get these great domain names? What's your advice to them, Adam?
So the only way to really get these kinds of domain names now is to either do what Shane did and wait till the person passes away, or the real way is to go directly to the end users and negotiate. I mean, that's really the only way you're going to get names like this. You have to negotiate, and you have to hope that the person is in a time where they actually need cash, and I've had this happen many times, people come back to me 2 years after I've made the offer, and then they said, I'm interested in your price. So you never know, but you have to get them from end users if you're going to get them at all.
Drew, what advice do you have to get great portfolios like you guys have in your top 10s?
Grow a sack. You just have to man up. You got to be willing to spend the money. Great names are one-off names. They cannot be replaced. And when a company needs that name, they will pay the price. So unless you're paying a stupid price, as long as you have a good, understanding of what the market is, understanding of how to put a value on a domain name. If you know what these things are worth and you can buy it for a fair market price or below fair market price, then just take out your wallet if it's really a unique name and just grow a sack and buy the name. And then, be in it for the long haul. I mean, it's the same with stocks. You got to be a long-term investor. If you want to get great companies and make money, you want to get great domains and make money, then you got to just pull out your wallet, buy the name, and then hold out for the right price.
All right.
But before you take out your wallet, you need to make sure you seek advice of somebody else and you're not just doing something stupid, because that happens way too often.
That is a good point.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Shane.
Which is why I prefaced it with, get a good understanding of value, understand, how to assign a value to a domain and what that particular domain might be.
And it's a great point, Adam. And I would say if you don't have people on your Skype connections or people you can email or call up, go to some conferences and meet some people. You're not going to get connections in the industry just by sitting behind your computer and watching these videos. You got to make real connections. Shane, what words of advice do you have to a new investor that wants to own great domain names like you guys own?
Well, the thing is, you don't have to. I don't think you have to have tons of money, like Drew says. If you look at every auction that ends, you're going to learn what they're selling for, and then you look for names that are less than what those sold for. No, they're not the exact name, but you get a general idea of what's selling. You know what a 4number.com used to sell for.
Yeah.
For 3 years, there was thousands of dollars to be made in 4number.coms. It was right in front of us. Not old investors. 5number.coms, same thing. You could have bought those for $20. Now you sell them for $500. There's plenty of opportunities. Watch the trends. Watch the names. Take half your portfolio, put it to a flippable side, and use the other half to build up quality names. Turn and burn and build. Trunk.com, 3 years. I offered them for 3 years, different amounts. As I finally got up to the amount, they finally took it. And every time they said, make it worth my while. So I built up money. I didn't ask Drew if it was worth it till after I bought it because I knew enough, no matter what I paid, I was fine with it. They were happy. I was happy. 3 years. Everybody wins. Now I just hope Drew said he likes it after I bought it.
So the thing is, I wasn't necessarily saying that you need a lot of money to do it. I'm just saying you got to be willing to pay the price. So that could be $1,000 domain. You could be in a namejet auction and you were like, wow, $1,000. That's a lot of money. But if you really believe in the value of that name, there's obviously somebody willing to pay $950. Yeah. So you just got to be willing to step up and be the guy that says I'll pay $1,000. The rule applies whether it's a $50,000 name, a $1,000 name, or even a $500,000 name.
Yep.
NL.com sold in the HA.com auction, and that went to a domain investor, that bought a lot of names way before any of us were in the business. His cost per name is literally one millionth, like one millionth of what his portfolio is worth. But he's still willing to step up and pay that price because he is confident in the value of that name. Yeah. You just have to be confident in your ability and to assign a value, and then step up and pay the price.
All right. Period. I shared my screen with you, gentlemen. Jeremiah Gerodius.
I'm not seeing your screen.
Gerodius. Do you guys see it?
Yeah.
Yep, I see it.
You don't see it, Drew? I'm going to read it to you. He sent out this outbound sales letter and wanted your critique. Hello, Mr. VP of Marketing, I found your email through company website as VP of Marketing at company name. I understand you're a very busy person, so I'll keep it short. I'm writing to let you know that the domain name tradeinphones.com available for purchase. I thought you might be interested in purchasing this intuitive domain name for marketing purposes. I'm looking to sell the domain name for only $4,525. Let me know if you are interested. I will be contacting other online trade-in services as well. And then he has his signature. So basically, he's emailing the VP of Marketing, presenting the domain, the price, trying to create a sense of urgency. The subject of the email was intuitive domain name. He wants to know, how do I improve my sales pitch? What should the subject line be? Is the VP of Marketing the right person? And is the price reasonable? Who wants to be first to take this?
I have my answer, but I'll let the other guys go first.
Okay, I think I think the domain sucks and the price is too high. But overall, I think the letter is good. Whether or not the vice president of marketing, I think it depends on the company. I mean, in some companies, in the really big companies, generally I'm talking to legal departments. If it's a small business, you want to talk to the owner. Mm-hmm. It really depends. Yeah. It really depends. There's no way it's not one size fits all.
So Trade-In Phones you don't think is a domain name that a small, any company would want? Trade-In Phones?
Trade-In Phones. Oh, okay. You know what? Actually, I didn't even think about what. Yeah, I guess trade-in your phone. I guess trade-in phones. I don't know. Maybe. Not. I don't know.
All right.
If it was like $500 or $1,000, maybe the company would be like, all right, fine, we'll take it.
Maybe, but you're not going to approach a Fortune 500 company with a $500 domain name, are you?
No, you're not.
Estibot Value puts it at $230. The exact match searches are $725 per month at a $3.22 cost per click. There is a high ad competition, but it's just not searched very frequently at Trade-In Phones. Shane, let's go over to you. What do you think of the sales pitch? Is it good?
I think the pitch is fine. That's basically what everybody says. You read through it. It's just another form of what every single email goes. You want to make it pretend or real that you're sending it out to everybody else, and that if you don't get it, somebody else will buy it.
Right.
It's fine. I don't agree with the value, but why not start with it? You have nothing to lose by opening communication at that price. Mine's a little different, but I don't do a lot of outreach like that, not as much as some other people.
Yep.
But there are some, if I have a name that'll work with several company, I'll send out 5 and see if anybody is, and I don't know if he feels it or not, but when I send something out, I'm really sending it to a name as another business owner. I really do think it's a good fit for that company. I just don't randomly send them out.
Yeah.
I'm too busy to do that. But hey, that's not a bad one. I've seen better. I've seen worse.
All right, Adam. Final say on Jeremiah's sales letter.
All right, so I don't like the letter at all. First of all, hello, Mister, is a start out the way you start out spam. The subject line stinks. One of the things I would do is I think Shane or Drew said there's no urgency, so I would tend to say something a little bit differently. And then I thought you might be interested in purchasing this domain name for marketing purposes. What marketing purposes? What benefits are you going to get out of it? You have to hit it in 2 or 3 lines, but you have to hit, instead of stats like most domainers do, you have to hit the benefit the company's going to receive right now. So you guys currently trade in phones. If you have this domain name, an extra 65 people a day are going to visit your site. I mean, you got to hit them with stuff he's going to be interested in. But I would have first started this out with a phone call. And Shane said something really interesting. This is what everybody says. Well, that's right. That's why you don't want to use it, because it's what everybody says. You need to create urgency. You even use a competitor. I'm putting this domain out there. I did it with Pink Slip Loans. I've offered this. I got approached by your competitor. They want pinksiploans.com. They currently own Pink Slip Loan. You own Pink Slip Loans, whatever. I'd like to see this name in the right hands. If you're interested, you can buy it. And I sold it like that for $3,000 more than I got from the offer on the guy who owned the competitor.
What was the subject line on your email, Adam?
Every subject is different. I mean, that one was because the guy already owned Pink Slip Loans, so it was different. But I would definitely follow it up with a phone call first and state what benefit he's going to get, and then say the subject line could be following up to our phone call. The other thing that I would also do is I would purposely send out an email to the wrong person first. Send it to somebody in accounting, and then say, if you're not the right person, who should I be contacting this person? And then they'll say yes, and then you've got to lead into the other person. So use your brain to get to the right people, and when then your subject says, hi, John from accounting told me to call you, and he's the VP of accounting. Then you're in. He's going to read it. So use your brain and don't do what everybody else is doing, because it's not going to benefit you. You're just going to have to spam him like everybody else. And nobody starts an email with, hello, Mr. Cyger. I mean, because right away, it's spam. You're going to kill it.
Yeah.
Remember when I did my talk about Adam's sales tactic when in that story I wrote that he dresses up like a woman and joins a women's book club so he can gather more information on the mother of the person he's going to sell it to.
Yeah, if you haven't read Shane's blog, it's pretty funny. He's got this sell-off between Adam and Jeff Gabriel.
Really, I gotta see that.
You gotta go see it. All right, related to this topic, Daniel L. asks, when you reach out to end users, do you write hi plus first name, hello plus first name, dear plus first name as a salutation, or Mr. and Mrs.? Adam, you just said Mr. and Mrs. strikes as, or Mr. / Ms. strikes as spammy.
Cyger. Hello, Mr. Cyger is spam. I wouldn't send you a letter saying Mr. Cyger. You want to send it as if it's more personalized, and then send it more personalized.
Yeah. All right, you guys agree? Drew, Shane?
I agree. If you can identify who the person's first name, then I would address it that way. Like, hey Michael. We're kind of informal. Like, hey Michael. And then lead in. Just trying to keep it personal.
Like
Adam did a good job. I agree with Adam. I mean, now that he said it.
Yeah.
Exactly.
All right, John Copen, last question of the day. John Copen wrote in and asked, while the Sherpas are on the air, it seems like they have websites open that while they are discussing values. I would love to know what each Sherpa's favorite tools are that are open on their desktop while the show's going on. What do you guys keep open on your browser tabs or on your applications? Adam.
I got to be honest. Usually I'm getting ideas from the show, and I'm checking other domains that may be available. Like I did look up something. Basically, that's what I'm doing. I looked up something related to it that may be good, like that Acquit one or other things. Or I could just be answering email because maybe Drew is going on a little too long or something. I don't know. It could be anything.
Do you just go to Uniregistry and type it in, or do you?
Black.
Sorry?
What did you say, Drew?
I will go to Uniregistry. or wherever, and I will check if something's available. And depending, I mean, like I love that one. What was it? GetGoodWood.com. I just thought it was funny because we all know what it means, and it's a great name for a lumber company. I mean, come on.
Was it not registered?
Pardon?
Was it not registered?
But I was driving with my wife the other day, and I saw this company, and you're never going to forget their name. It's a towing company, and it said CamelTowing.com.
No way.
I swear, I'll take the picture. That you're never going to forget it. So, I mean, it's stupid, but you remember it. So, there you go. So I'm looking for new ideas 24/7. We all are. No, our minds, when you're a domainer, your mind never sleeps. You're always thinking the next best thing.
Drew, what do you have open on your desktop right now?
About 150 tabs.
I tell you to reboot before the show.
Yeah, primarily I'm using Google AdWords keyword tool.
Yep.
Or keyword planner, I guess they call it now, and then I Estabot, domain tools, domain IQ. Those are pretty much my go-to, and then always a few Google tabs where I'm doing some information search.
Yep. You use Google Docs for maintaining information?
No, I'm actually really bad with that.
Oh. All right. Shane, what's on your desktop, buddy?
As opposed to everybody else, I am fully concentrated on the show. And I got a calculator brain, so I don't forget.
What do you have on the nursery's computer when there's nobody in line and you're working the checkout counter?
I'll have to admit, I used expired domains.net is a tool that it has all the information I need in one thing. So I use that every day, all day.
Is that a paid service?
No, it's free.
Huh.
It's
how do they make money?
It's the GoDaddy affiliate code.
Okay.
If there's affiliate put in there, so yeah, it's a fantastic tool. Every auction out there that's pretty much what I do. I mean, I'm pretty much going through the auctions 2 to 3 hours every single night. I don't do a ton of hand registering. I pretty much go through the auctions. What you see is what I'm doing. So that's really the main tool I use. And then everybody else I use. I'm a Mac-based, so I use a lot of FileMaker Pro as opposed to the other stuff. Most people aren't familiar with it, but you can make your own database and make it look like you want. So there's not coding, but so I've done some things there.
I think he was really about stupid tools and stuff, and we're not giving him any of that.
All right. Thanks for going over, guys. 30 seconds a piece to promote anything you want. Adam, what's going on? What's the latest?
Not much. I just, while you were talking to Shane, I just went and signed up for his newsletter. So the only thing I want to say is that Shane's got a pretty good portfolio, and use the brain like Shane has. Come up with great slogans that are cool and brandable, because those are really good domains to get.
Yeah, I'm going to go register shanesbrain.com, and then I'm going to post up a different thing that I think Shane is thinking every day. Yeah. Good advice. Drew, anything you want to promote?
Offhand, no.
What do you got at auction? What do you got on sale?
Well, okay, so we've got some killer names just about to hit auction at NameJet.
What are they? Maybe I'll make you an offer before it goes to NameJet.
Well, VVV.com is getting very interesting. We just got a $100,000 offer for VVV.com, but we're keeping that name in auction. We're rolling the dice. I can tell you that the reserve is well under the offers that are coming in. We've got one offer at 75, one at 80, one at 92, and now one at 100. And we're rolling the dice. The offer, I can tell you, the reserve is under all of those offers. So this one is going to sell 110%, and it's going to be. This could
be one of those names that, like, this could be one of those names that, like, you pick up and then you immediately get an offer for more than what you paid for it.
I am almost 100% positive that will happen.
Huh.
That I'm sure that when this sells, somebody will email me saying they will pay a higher price than what it just sold for.
All right.
So whoever buys this name, I mean, look, here's the deal. There is only there is no other ones available. The TTT just traded hands at $250,000. The new owner wants $500,000 minimum. the next lowest one, I believe, is PPP. And I think Andy also wants like 400, 500,000. So there's nothing. I mean, literally, unless you're going to pay 400, 500,000, there's absolutely not one other repeating three-letter.com in the market. And it's a very unique opportunity.
Yeah. All right, go check that out on NameJet.
One of these has ever been publicly sold ever in history. So it's a very, very unique opportunity. Yeah. That's an understatement. We're selling NJS, NJS.com, no reserve. USD, as in US dollar.org. Low reserve. We've got, I mean, just a whole bunch. You can go to namejet.com/featured auctions/MediaOptions, and you'll see what we're selling. We just actually sent them a fresh list today, which will go up later this week. We've got another 200 names that we've sent over to be auctioned off, and we're still buying. I just
all right. The timer has gone off.
Right.
I don't know. Adam needs to buy like 8D printers that print off in negative time, because I don't know where he comes up with these printed things. Shane, anything you want to promote?
I'm just glad that Drew didn't have anything to promote, or we would have gone long.
Once you get him started, though.
Oh, I was just about to say, you go, I don't have anything. You got a whole portfolio of names coming up. He needs to hire me as his marketing manager. I need to join the MediaOptions team. Nothing to talk about.
You only have time in the winter. That's no good.
Exactly.
All right, Shane, anything you want to plug?
I just wanted to say thanks, guys, for being kind. It was I didn't sweat it very much until the last couple of minutes. I thought, oh God, I got to put my, you got to put your money where your mouth is, and everybody's got a different way of doing it. And I take pride in the fact that I run a business and do this. And there's no excuses. I'll say that there's no excuses. You make time for the things you want to do. You can make plenty of money in this industry part-time. No excuses. Even if you work 3 or 4 hours a day, or 2 hours a day, or one, you can still do well. You just got to concentrate and work hard. And I feel like I'm a testament to that. And so it means a lot to me. I'm proud of where I've gotten and what I've been, and I've got a good business on the side, the main business as well. So I'd like to thank my mom.
Adam, thanks for that.
And so come on.
I mean, I'll say, I don't think, if you go back on Shane's blog over the last 2 years, and if you were to put a chart of like pricing for, let's say, 2letter.nets, 2number.nets, 3letter.coms, 4number.coms particularly, even 3number.coms. If you were to like put a chart of the pricing and you were to read, on corresponding dates, Shane's blog, I think you'd see that. I don't think there was many people ahead of him calling the market on those. I mean, he was spot on. I mean, on all of those things, saying, look, I'm buying because the market's going up. When he was talking about 4number.coms, I was like, man, this guy's crazy. And then he made a ton of money, and I came in like the third, wave. So
yeah. I remember Drew saying that. Hey, I'm looking for 4number.com. I don't care which one it is. I just want some of them. And I was like, God, he doesn't want to pick one out. Well, he did fantastic. He just took them. It didn't matter which one you bought. You could bought the worst 4number.com, and he still made out like a bandit.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, I'm going to give a quick plug for DN Tax Guide. Tax time is coming. If you need help figuring out your income, your expenses, how to classify them, how to become Shane next year, dntaxguide.com is what you need. Use the code Sherpa for a discount. We're back to our regular programming on the Domain Sherpa Review. Later this month, I have a great queue of investors who have graciously donated to the Fred Hutchinson Cancer Research Center to have their portfolios reviewed. So the next show, we're going to switch back to them. If you receive benefit from today's show, please post a comment and thank today's Sherpas. I want to be the first to thank Shane Cultra for opening up his portfolio and letting us learn from what he's purchased in the past so that we can shorten our path to success. I also want to thank all three of our Domain Sherpas, Adam Dicker, Andrew Rosener, and Shane Cultra, for sharing their experience and insights in the domain name industry. We'll see you all next time.
Thank you.
Thanks, Michael.